Welcome back, everybody. We're going to look at EVIL-LYN today. Masterverse, Netflix, July 23rd. Make sure you're there to check it out. I will be there checking it out for sure. Quick look at the beautiful artwork. I've been talking about the backdrop of the cosmos from the very initial images that were released when the line was and the cartoon was announced. And, you know, sure enough, we have the cosmic lord of destruction in Skelegod. And we have this multiverse theme implied in a lot of the footage that we see in the trailers. So I think we're in for some really cool surprises. She looks totally badass. I was never really a huge fan of EVIL-LYN growing up. Not really sure why. I just wasn't. I was more a fan of Chitara and the Baroness, the Sorceress, different other characters. I was a big fan of She-Ra. Not really sure why I wasn't a big fan of EVIL-LYN, but for whatever reason, from the minute I saw the artwork on this character, and then I saw the images of what this figure was going to look like, she was one of my highly anticipated figs in the line. So let's go ahead and get her out of the box, and let's take a look together for the first time, at least in my case. Here we go. We've got EVIL-LYN out of the box and ready to rock. As soon as I pulled her out of the clamshell, my reaction immediately was, oh, wow. Because her joints felt super stiff. The plastic has a unique texture to it. When you articulate her, she has a minimal armor that's going to encumber her and get in the way of that articulation. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is going to be one of those action poses and play kind of videos because she's just literally calling for it. She screams warrior. That's not just a magic casting staff. You know, she's swinging that thing around and bashing people with it. You know, this isn't just a scepter short version of a magical staff. This is a mace. This is a Morning Star style kind of mace, and she's cracking skulls with this thing. That's the vibe that I got from her. So I thought to myself, you know what? If she really is a warrior, right? She has to be able to strike that iconic pose, and boom! Talk about striking that iconic pose. I mean, that just looks awesome. That just looks awesome. Let me just adjust the light here. Yeah, so immediately I'm impressed by this figure. Let's take a close look at her, and then we'll do some of the accessories in action and play. EVIL-LYN. Boom. Look at her shoulders. She looks feminine. She looks totally feminine, and she is totally fit. And she looks amazing. Her proportions. This is a warrior. This is, if she were in the DC universe, she'd be an Amazon, right? Or an equivalent. She is amazing. You know, if she were in the modern world, she'd be a female athlete. All right, so the art on her is superb. Absolutely, positively superb. The colors, you have three patterns of blue, or three colors of blue going on there. You have the black belt with the silver buckle, some black bracers with kind of like a glove, a semi-glove. She looks great. All right, so of course the head pops off. Bloop! Kind of has like two settings, a forward setting and a slightly center setting. Pop that back in there. All right. She can look down very well. Down. Up while she stands also. Very cool. She's got some head rocking going on. She can give you a what? And of course, we can go 360 degrees. Really cool. Let's see, turn to the side. And look up a bit, turn to the side and look down a bit, very little, but enough. All right. Very similar to Skelegard and Mossman. So you've got a hinge, you've got rotation, you've got more rotation at the bicep, and more rotation at the wrist, none at the elbow or forearm. You've got some really good rotation at this hinge at the upper part of her torso, and rotation at her waist. This plastic is pretty soft. The soft goods here are pretty soft. She's got rotation. She has the hinge at the hip here. This is the hinge, and that hinge does not rotate, but she has a thigh cut that rotates. And that's an important distinction when you're talking about articulation. There are a lot of figures that do not have a thigh cut rotation. They only have a hinge, and that hinge might turn slightly, but that doesn't qualify it as thigh rotation. It's a hip joint that has some rotation. And in this case, this hip joint has some rotation, but it has the hip joint and the thigh cut. And that's an important distinction because that rotation of the leg gives it additional articulation, and she has the boot cut and the double knee. So she is just a beast of a figure that is ready to pose for battle or for whatever it might be. EVIL-LYN is ready for it. Man, she is awesome. All right, let's take a look at some action poses in play. Action pose number 1, or rather number 2, because she hit the iconic pose. Tell me this is not a beastie, completely, totally warrior, savage, I'm going to save the world one way or another kind of pose right here. Look at the fortitude, look at the gumption, look at the determination on that face. And she is ready for combat. She's ready to protect whatever is behind her. I've got her hips, her thigh joints, and her boot cuts, and the rockers in her feet, all articulated in really dynamic ways right now so she can nail that pose. This is a really well articulated figure, super well designed. The cuts in the plastic is perfectly cut on the sides so that she can articulate out and nail this pose. She is going to harm someone with the ends of these things, and not just with magic. She can take care of herself. Look at those shoulders, look at those arms, completely and totally natural looking. This is outstanding work. Mattel nailed this. They nailed this. Could you imagine if they did an Ultimates line, or if they brought back the Classics line for this particular wave of figures, or for this particular generation of figures? This is already amazing. What would more amazing look like? All right, next pose. Check this out. On one foot, arm extended out one way, head leaning out past her hip, past her center of gravity, and one knee and one leg almost fully articulated back up to her hamstring, calf to hamstring. This is an outstanding figure, man. She is just awesome, and I really, really dig this head sculpt. Wow, this is just great balance, man. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. If she were in the process of throwing a punch, perhaps. Of course, she would turn the fist over. Very nice. Very nice. I mean, she's built for action, man. She is built for action. We got her in a defensive, or maybe kind of like digging in her back foot, so she can go ahead and let go of a blast of magic from her hands. Very, very awesome. So that's definitely the go-to, right? Spell casting hands, since she is a sorceress. She might be taking one of these dominant alpha poses, kind of like, guys, get your shit together, right? She could also just kind of like, with the 3 pairs of hands that she comes with, you have a ton of awesome fun range. Wait, let me find this joint, sorry. And bam, there we go. Hell yes. Battle Cat, win Skelegod, win Mossman, win EVIL-LYN, win Masters of the Universe Revelation Mattel Toys. Right now, they're winning. They're winning across every play pattern, age group, demographic, whatever the phraseology is. Mattel is winning right now. He-Man is winning. Toy collectors are winning. Art lovers are winning. Way to go, way to go, way to go. As always, everybody, it is a joy to continue sharing the experience of collecting toys as an adult. I hope you're able to come back and continue sharing stories too. Take care. Until next time.